What is going on, everybody? Happy Thanksgiving and welcome to a brand new installment of For the Love of Wrestling here exclusively on the Casa D18 Studios channel. I, of course, am your host, the Renegade of Wrestling, JJ Williams. Happy Thursday. Happy Thanksgiving once again. We're going to try to get in and out of here as quick as possible. That way, everybody can get back to their family, their loved ones, their celebrations, watching the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, which I actually have on in the background. You know, last night was Dynamite. We hosted a watch along here across the multiverse of media. Noah and I on the call. Jeff came in the clutch because I was having some tech issues towards the end. All in all, I thought it was a great show. We'll break down the segments, though, like we always do. First thing out the gate, we started the Continental Classic, the gold brackets. Swerve Strickland taking on Jay Lethal. This was a phenomenal opening contest. Swerve showed very limited signs of fatigue after the grueling death match that he had on Saturday against Hangman Adam Page. However, he was able to defeat Jay Lethal with the Swerve Stomp. Not for nothing, though, Lethal put up a hell of a fight, and I've been a Jay Lethal fan for a very long time, going back to his days in NWA TNA and Black Machismo and everything. Just wasn't enough to take out Swerve Strickland. And got to figure Swerve is one of the odds on favorites to win this tournament. He's been getting a hell of a push. He's almost kind of been turned babyface on accident with his music and Nana doing the dance and everything. He's like the only member of the Mogul Embassy that gets a babyface pop, and it's weird sometimes. We then went backstage with Renee Paquette. She was with Orange Cassidy, Hook, and Shibata. And Wheeler Yuta came in and just started insulting all three men. Orange Cassidy was going to give a great big announcement, but there's now no time after Wheeler Yuta ate up the minutes allotted for the segment. We then go down to the ring, and it's better than you, baby. Adam Cole and MJF come to the ring, and MJF does a traditional MJF promo. He begins to brag about his accolades. Youngest AEW champion, longest reigning world champion, best title defenses, blah, blah, blah. And Adam Cole says that he's still severely injured, that he has a long road ahead, that he's nowhere near ready to come back. And the devil appears on the screen very briefly and he laughs. And then as soon as the devil leaves the screen, we have Samoa Joe come out to the ring. And Samoa Joe wants his title match. You know, Joe, of course, helped MJF at Full Gear defend the Ring of Honor tag titles. And he wants MJF to keep his word. And MJF tries to weasel his way out of it. And Adam Cole, you know, hold on, let me rewind back a second. MJF tries to weasel his way out of it, but he insults Samoa Joe in the process, and Joe goes to try to attack him. And Cole has to try to back Joe off of him a little bit. He's like, Joe, I beg of you, stop, don't stop. And Adam Cole is able to convince MJF that the new MJF, the MJF that is his best friend, his brochacho, is an MJF that keeps his promises and his word. So MJF tries to make the match for right here, right now, tonight in Chicago, and Joe declines the offer because he knows MJF. If MJF loses, he's going to go on the internet and social media. I wasn't cleared. I wasn't 100%. Shouldn't count. So he wants MJF at his best, and he figures that come December 30th at World's End, MJF should be 100%. The match is made for the pay-per-view to round out the year. We then had Hook, Katsuyori Shibata, and Orange Cassidy versus Cool Hand Angelo Parker, Jake Hager, and Daddy Magic Matt Menard. And the big announcement, we assume, that Orange Cassidy was going to make during his promo is the return of Danhausen. You guys saw the display image, Danhausen with the purple hat. The purple hat will come into play here momentarily. It's a Thanksgiving surprise. Danhausen is back. This was great trios action. I swear, Cool Hand Ange and Daddy Magic are so underrated as a tandem. It's sickening sometimes. I really wish they would get I really wish they would get a serious push towards the tag titles. Because they're just as goofy as the Acclaimed, just as goofy as the Gun Club, and both of them are former AEW tag champions. So there's no reason why Cool Hand Ange and Daddy Magic shouldn't be able to get a run with the belts. You can't tell me that they're not a serious enough team. You can't tell me that they're too goofy, because those two teams are goofy too, and they've both had a run as AEW tag champs. Hell, the Acclaimed are in the midst of a run as trios tag champs now, so I don't want to hear excuses. Forgive me for yawning. Danhausen had Jake Hager's hat, breaks it out to kind of taunt Jake Hager, curses Jake Hager, and then Hook locks in the Red Rum submission. Shibata locks in a sleeper hold, and they secure the victory for their team. Again, this was a great trios match. Just head to toe, start to finish, bell to bell. We then saw Adam Cole backstage with Renee Paquette, and Renee just kind of wants to get a word with Adam before he takes off, because who knows when he's going to come back. And of course, that's interrupted by Roderick Strong and the Kingdom. Roddy yelling, "Adam!" as he do. And Adam point blank tells Roddy, "You're not my best friend anymore. I don't know what more I have to do to get you to understand this." We then had a segment with Christian Cage, Nick Wayne, and Luchasaurus. And this is supposed to be a rechristening of Nick Wayne and Luchasaurus. Christian says that Full Gear didn't go that way that he would have liked. And it wasn't he that lost. It wasn't Nick Wayne that lost. It was Luchasaurus that lost. He wants to kind of rebuild his children in his own image. So he tells Luchasaurus to get on his knee. And Luchasaurus is hesitant. It takes a while before Luchasaurus gets down on one knee. And when he does, Christian renames him. He says, "Luchasaurus is my finisher. Luchasaurus is a name that I am going to forever attribute with failure. We need to give you a name that is strength. I'm going to call you Kill Switch." And you think about Christian's finisher, the Kill Switch engaged. And then he turns to Nick Wayne, and Nick Wayne immediately drops to a knee. And he tells Nick Wayne, no, get up on your feet. You will never kneel to another man ever again. And he starts praising Nick Wayne. And he says that your new name is the Prodigy, Nick Wayne. Which, of course, makes me wonder what Roxanne Perez has to say, as she is the Prodigy. But I digress. Different companies. I guess as long as they trademark it as the Prodigy Nick Wayne, they can get away with using the Prodigy. At this point, Shayna Wayne, Nick Wayne's mom, comes out to the ring. And Christian begins to insult Shayna, about how she's a horrible mom, a waitress, making $40,000 a year, could never do anything that Nick Wayne needed, couldn't provide for him. And Killswitch gets in the middle of Christian and Shayna Wayne and starting to tease for a minute like he's actually going to do something, but he doesn't. Christian then pushes Killswitch into Shayna, knocking her down on her ass. Nick Wayne goes to the outside, grabs 2 chairs to set up for the concerto, and Christian, in order to make Killswitch prove his loyalty, gives him the chair to execute the concerto onto Shayna Wayne. And he teases it for a minute, but he resists, and he teases it, and he resists, and he just can't do it. And at this point, Adam Copeland hits the ring, and he clears house, and we get Killswitch saving Christian. He couldn't pull the trigger and execute the concerto, but when Adam Copeland comes after Christian, he grabs Christian's leg and drags him out of the ring. So there's an interesting little thing there going on. Like, Luchasaurus has no problem with Christian, has no problem helping Christian, but he refuses to assault an innocent woman. So they're walking a very fine line with Luchasaurus. We know a babyface turn will come eventually. Nick Wayne ends up taking a spear, an impaler DDT, and a concerto, all in front of his own mom. We then had Renee Paquette backstage with Anna Jay and the 2.0, Daddy Magic, Cool Hand Ange, and Jake Hager. And the whole purpose of this promo was focus on me. They're infighting, they're bickering, Daddy Magic and Cool Hand Ange and Ruby Soho and my hat and blah, blah, blah. And Anna Jay's like, I don't know if you guys are here to help me or to hurt me, but this match is about me. We need to focus on me. I'm tired of the infighting. I'm tired of the bickering. I'm tired of all of it. And Cool Hand Ange, as the promo ends, gets a phone call from Ruby Soho, which makes Anna Jay ask him, like, are you with me? And he's like, yeah, of course I am. Of course I am. We then had what was quite possibly the match of the night, at least in my opinion. Going back to the Continental Classic, we had Roosh versus Switchblade Jay White. And words, in my opinion, can't describe this match. This was an absolute classic. I highly recommend, if you missed Dynamite, go back, watch it, even if it's just for this match, because this match was just freaking phenomenal. Jay White got the victory with the Blade Runner. So good. We then had 625, 925, so you know what's coming. No, it wasn't the match. It was Toni Storm's championship acceptance speech. RJ City and Renee Paquette came out onto the entrance ramp, and they introduced the winner of the AEW Women's Championship, the most prestigious women's championship in wrestling. I call bullshit. Toni Storm. And Toni was in the crowd. Immediately, everything turned to black and white. We see her coming out of the crowd, coming up onto the entrance ramp to accept the award, very Oscar-like. I couldn't stop myself from cracking up. This was just sheer brilliance in its presentation. Came up on the stage, and Mariah May came out, handed Tony the championship belt just like they would present somebody with an Oscar award or an Emmy award. She gives her acceptance speech, and they start to play the music to cut her off. And she's like, no, no, I still have people to thank. No. They stop the music. She finishes her speech, and then they hit the music again and escort her off the scene. So good, so entertaining. Again, I've said it a few times, and I will say this until I can't speak anymore. Toni Storm is the best character that they have, specifically in the female division, possibly overall, since Jade Cargill got away. Just her presentation and her ability to carry promos and to captivate a crowd. You know, she may or may not be the most sound technical wrestler on the card, but goddamn if she is not entertaining. Now we go to our women's match, and it's a triple threat match with Sky Blue taking on Anna Jay and Ruby Soho. And Sky Blue comes out just as the Toni Storm segment is ending. And as she comes out, it immediately cuts back to color because it's not about Toni anymore. And Toni feels like somebody is kind of crashing her party. So I don't know if we're going to set up, you know, kind of a Sky Blue Toni Storm program here. I hope so, because honestly, I think Sky Blue is better than the TBS title division, but that's just me personally. This was a great triple threat match. They didn't say if there was going to be any implications or repercussions coming out of this match, you know, if it was contendership or nothing. Anna Jay did a good job attempting to you know, carry the match and trying to get some offense in, but it very much was a Ruby Soho Sky Blue type of thing. Daddy Magic, Matt Menard, and Cool Hand Ange were out there with Anna Jay. Saraya was out there with Ruby Soho. The only one who was flying solo was Sky Blue. There was a moment where Ruby got bumped off of the ring apron. Cool Hand Ange caught her, and they kind of had this seductive embrace, I guess you could call it, for a moment. It almost looked like they were going to kiss. It was very cute, very sweet. Again, I've been saying for weeks how much I love the way that they're building this angle in this story with Cool Hand Ange and Ruby Soho. I just think it's some great television, great writing. Main event for the evening was Jon Moxley versus Mark Briscoe. Final match for the evening for the Continental Classic. This was hard-hitting, fast-paced, action-packed, just everything you would expect from these two gentlemen, and then some. I've really got Mark Briscoe kind of as like a dark horse to win this tournament, going back to the fact that, you know, his brother Jay Briscoe passed earlier this year. And Mark has never really had that defining singles moment. Jay was Ring of Honor World Champion. And shortly after Jay's passing on WrestleMania weekend, Mark had an opportunity at the Ring of Honor World Championship and just couldn't grab it. Couldn't get that match. He couldn't win. And at the end of the day, this tournament, the Continental Classic, is for a Triple Crown Championship. You get the new Continental Classic Championship, you get the New Japan Strong Championship, and you get the Ring of Honor World title. So I kind of think it would be cool to have that feel-good moment and wrap up the year with all the turmoil, everything that Mark has been through over the past year, losing his brother, getting injured, having momentum derailed, not being able to get the Ring of Honor title. And on December 30th, just before the year is over, he's able to raise that title in the air along with the New Japan Strong, along with the Continental Classic Championship. I just think that would be a great feel-good moment. What do you guys think? Overall, I would say the Dynamite was an A- show. I do agree with what some critics said last night, and that the women's triple threat was predictable, but I don't think that deterred me from the enjoyment of the match. All in all, I think they really delivered good. So yeah, I'd say about an A minus. What do you guys think? Let me know. I'm going to do as I always do. I'm going to take a very quick 40-second commercial here, show you guys all of the upcoming open mic night specials. Actually, I'm going to take a little bit longer than a 40-second one, because I'm going to show you the open mic night specials that are coming up, as well as the upcoming watch-alongs. So we'll be right back in just under a minute and a half to wrap things up. Don't go anywhere. So there you have it. That is everything that is coming up as far as open mic night special events, karaoke nights, game show nights, watch-alongs. Of course, we'll have Survivor Series this weekend, Saturday, beginning at, I believe, 4:30 Pacific, 7:30 Eastern, immediately followed by open mic night. Of course, want to take a moment to remind people to tune in later on this evening for the Multiverse of Media Thanksgiving special. Time to be determined. It depends what time I get home from my own Thanksgiving festivities. It looks like dinner is going to be between 5 and 6 Pacific. So hopefully we'll be home by, we'll say 8 o'clock Pacific, which is 11 Eastern. So hopefully it won't be any later than that we'll be starting. Multiverse of Media Thanksgiving special is going to be, think about an old music video show, and I'll be sitting here. I'm going to introduce a video, throw to a video. We've had videos submitted from multiple members of the multiverse discussing what they're thankful for. So I'll intro the video, throw to it. They'll tell you guys what they're thankful for. Come out of the video, I'll introduce the next one, throw to another one, etc., etc. And then wrap things up with that. So it's something that I really wanted to put together, because I'm so thankful and grateful for a whole lot of things, and I know the rest of the team are too. So just wanted to put something together to show you, the fans, what we're thankful for in our lives, including all of you guys out there that support us. With that in mind, I do want to leave you guys with one quick thing. I'm not going to end things the way I normally do, because it is Thanksgiving. I'm going to end things a little bit differently. Unfortunately, the video I'm about to run is going to make it to where I can't monetize the video. So if you guys see this in the archives, once it's gone off the air, please make sure you send a super thanks, a super sticker, something if you enjoyed this show, because I'm not going to be able to make any money off of it after I run this clip. Excuse me. But in closing, I just want to say that this world can get kind of crazy sometimes. We all get consumed with the nonsense and the noise in the world from time to time, and we forget what's important. So, not just today, not just this holiday season, but all throughout the year, I ask you all to remember.
Jeff Meacham Networks, Multiverse of Media. For over 15 years, the recognized symbol of excellence and the standard bearer in coverage of sports and entertainment.
Thank you, JJ. Appreciate you.